All right, Nick, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. They have gotten some great news recently, something we think is going to really, really strongly benefit their team going forward. And we've got the story on that. But before we get into all of that, Saints fans, historic franchise, a lot of great moments throughout history. But what we're looking for here, tell us, who is your favorite Saints player to watch growing up? Who's the guy that you idolize? Who is the guy in your era of early Saints fanhood did you say, I wanted to be like that guy? You've had tons of greats. You've had the Drew Breeses. You've had the Archie Mannings, Marquez Colston, Willie Roaf, tons and tons of great Saints players. But let us know in the comments below, who is your favorite Saints player to watch growing up? Nick, who's your favorite Saint?
Yeah, so for me, it was Deuce McAllister, the running back, longtime running back with the Saints. So growing up, I grew up in Northwest Florida, so the Saints were on TV all the time, and it always frustrated me because there was other teams I usually wanted to watch. But I always liked watching Deuce McAllister because this was an era of the Saints with Aaron Brooks, and they were okay, good, not great. But I was a big fan. McAllister was a really nice player for a long time. But getting to the story that you brought up, so according to a Saints wire over at USA Today, Jameis Winston got involved in 2 minute drill today, or in their most recent practice. There were a couple of good signs from the Saints quarterback, including another step forward in his participation. This is according to Saints Wire. Taking snaps and leading a 2 minute drill to close out practice was the last remaining bit that we haven't seen from Winston since returning from injury. He led a successful drive that ended in a touchdown pass to wide receiver Jarvis Landry. The report also noticed that along with Winston's participation and good performance, there was another change for the quarterback. Usually during practices, Winston wears his left leg brace. That brace was no longer on in this practice, and a different or less bulky brace was used. Either way, the reporter couldn't see it. Progress not only for the newer injury Winston was dealing with that he was coming back from, but also continued improvements from last year's season-ending knee injury as well. All right, Miles. So this is obviously big news for the New Orleans Saints if Jameis Winston can get back and get healthy. Obviously, I don't think they'll probably want to play him and extend him too much. They're worried about him potentially getting hurt again. In fact, Dennis Allen, Saints head coach, has come out and said he's comfortable sitting Jameis Winston the rest of the preseason. What do you make of Jameis Winston and his health, and how big that's going to be for the Saints going into the season, starting strong? What's going to be a pretty tough NFC South with obviously the Bucs being good, Panthers probably a little bit better.
I think Jameis William Winston was really strong last year in his first ever showing of getting to lead this Saints offense. I think he showed signs of promise. It wasn't all the way there yet, but also I watched the game where he did get injured. It was kind of devastating for the morale of the team when Winston went down. He seems to be a strong leader in that locker room. I love the clip of him dancing in the locker room with his crutches after they won the game. So, big, big leader, big motivational piece on this Saints team. But I really wanted to see more. I wasn't, he had some flashes of, he's finally turned it around. Sitting under Drew Brees, learning some stuff like that has been really good for him. And finally the opportunity for him to say, "Hey, the helm of the Saints offense is yours." He obviously was cut short, but so now is 2.0. We're gonna give you another round of it. Obviously, if Michael Thomas can stay healthy, that's a big addition to this Saints team as well. Chris Olave, they've got a lot of weapons that they've reintegrated into this offense. I think they seem more dangerous than ever offensively. So I think Jameis is a huge part of this offense. And I think really, Nick, any QB1 is very important to their team. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point about the momentum, after that Tampa Bay win, the Saints were actually 5-2. Winston obviously got hurt. They lost their last 5 games. It's hard to come back from that. You talk about that big momentum shift. But again, injuries at the quarterback position have been a real problem for the Saints the last few years. Let's bring up a graphic here comparing the New Orleans Saints and the games they've had to play without their QB1 versus their top contenders in the NFC. Looking at the 49ers, the Rams, the Aaron Rodgers Packers, Tom Brady Bucks. And you can see the Saints, how many games the Saints have been without QB1 compared to the rest of those contenders combined. That is brutally tough. They've had to go so many games without having their best quarterback, whether it was Breeze a number of times or whether it was Winston for more than half the season last year. getting that quarterback one healthy and having him last the entire season is going to be huge, because the Saints can't bear to go through no team really can go through a 5-game losing streak because they're trying to figure out the quarterback position in the middle of the season. You can't make the playoffs doing that. The Saints came close. They lost out on tiebreakers last year. But even if you do make the playoffs and you're a wild card team on the road, it's really tough. If the Saints can just stay healthy. Remember, this is a team that's dominated Tampa since Tom Brady's came to Tampa. They've actually crushed the Buccaneers. They've controlled Aaron Rodgers last year very well. If they can be healthy at the quarterback position, this is a legitimate contending team, not just in the NFC South, but in the NFC in general. That's why it is brutally important that Jameis Winston is healthy and is 100% good to go going into the season. And I agree with Dennis Allen that they should probably sit him down the rest of the year and play it safe, because they can't have another year like they've had the last few years where they're overcoming, just a number of injuries at that position. It makes it really hard to win games when the rest of your contenders are relatively healthy.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.